Hi everyone, um, welcome to today's tutorial. So today we're looking at question 3 from tutorial sheet 4. So the question is saying factorize the following polynomials completely. So how do you do the factorization? The first thing that you need to put in mind is that whenever you have been taught to factorize the polynomial, if you have not been given any factor to start with, you simply start by using what is called try or error method. So how does that work? You test the numbers starting from -1 going up. So you can first say, let me try -1. You say, let me try -1. So you can say try x is equal to -1. So when you try x is equal to -1, you try to put while there is x in this expression, you put -1. So when you put -1 while there is x, you have something like this: -1 cubed minus 2 -1 squared minus 5 -1. Then we have plus 6. So this is going to give you -1. This will give you -2. This will give you +5, and then that will give you 6. So -1 minus 1 will give us -3, plus 5 plus 6. So when you add this, you will not get a 0. So you move on. We try x is equal to 1. We try x is equal to 1. Put 1 there where there is x cubed, you get 1. Put 1 where there is x squared, you get 2 there. Put 1 where there is x there, you get -5. And then put 1 where, and then you write your 6 there. So when you add this time, this minus that, you get -1 minus 5, then minus 6, plus 6. So when you add this, you get a 0. So once you get a 0, note to say x is equal to 1 has accepted. So in other words, you say x is equal to 1. You get this, and then after writing this, you say x, you take this one to the other side of the equal sign, is equal to 0. And then finally you say x minus 1 is one of the factors. So you can write it in words. You say is a factor. So x minus 1 is a factor. So now after finding one factor there, you can now either use synthetic division or long division to find the other factors. So how do you do that? You get this, our x is equal to 1. So I'll write my 1 there, and then I'll write the coefficients of my function there. We have 1, we have -2, we have -5, then we have +6. Then from there you bring down this 1, then you multiply 1 times 1, you're getting 1. You add -2 plus 1, you get -1. You multiply -1 times 1, you get -1. You add these two, you get -6. You multiply 1 times -6, you get -6. When you add the 2, you get a 0. So once you get a 0 here, just know to say the factor that you found here is correct. If you get any remainder here and you've been taught to factorize a given expression, just know to say you erred when finding this factor. So meaning you have to go back and find another factor which is going to give you a 0 here. So having found this, we now put them in this form. This is what we are going to have now. So we're going to have something like this. And then the coefficient of x squared there is 1. The coefficient of x is -1. So you say -x, and then we have the constant which is -6. So from here, what we need to do is now to factorize this, since we've been taught to factorize completely. So meaning we don't need to leave any of the expressions unfactorized. So let us try to look at the factors that we can add to give us -1, we multiply to give us -6. And I'm pretty sure we know to say 2 and 3 can work. So -3 and 2. So let us factorize this separately. We're going to have, yeah, actually let me just factorize it from there. So I'm going to have something like this, and then I'll open square brackets, and then I'll have x squared, and then I have plus 2x minus 3x minus 6, like that. So I have my x minus 1 like that, and then I'll write my square brackets there, and then I'm going to have, I'll factorize there. I'm going to have x, open brackets, we have x plus 2, here negative 3 is common, so we say x plus 2. So from there we write the square bracket again. We write now the final answer, which is completely factorized. So the final answer will just be like this. So you write the factor there, which is x plus 2. You also write the other factor, which is x minus 3. So here, this solution, this is now the solution for the answer. We have factorized the expression completely. We have factorized it completely. Hence, this is the solution. So let's quickly move on to the next question. Yeah. So I'll only solve 2 questions here. Looking at them, since they look the same, they are in the same format. Unless maybe there was one which was different, which was a little bit different, but since they are in the same format, I'll just do 2 questions. So let me do the second question, and then we move on to the next question, which is question 4. So the second question is this one. So the same applies to this one. You find the factors. Okay, so this one you try, let us try, we try x okay, we try x is equal to 1. Let's try x is equal to 1. So we try x is equal to 1. Okay, let me see what is happening. Okay, so saying we try x is equal to 1. So okay, so this is how it's going to be. We try x is equal to 1 on the second question there. Let me just change the color of the pointer. Okay, so we say x is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 1, try to put 1 there, you're going to get 2. And then when you try to put 1 where there is 3, where there is x squared, you are going to get 3. You put 1 where there is x, you're going to get 17. We put 1, oh sorry, and then you write your constant there. So what will happen is, this is 5 minus 17, you get negative 12 plus 12. So when you add the 2, you are getting a 0. So this simply means that 1 has accepted, and we can now say x is equal to 1. So x minus 1 is equal to 0, and then x minus 1 is a factor. So x minus 1 is a factor. So from there you quickly move on to doing what? Using synthetic division. You put 1 there, you write their coefficients. You have 2, you have 3, you have negative 17, and then we have 12 there. So you put your, you bring down these 2, you multiply 1 times 2, you are getting 2. When you add the 2, you are getting 5. 1 times 5, you are getting 5. You add the 2, you are getting negative 12. When you multiply 1 times negative 12, you are getting negative 12. When you add there, you are getting a 0. So it has given us a remainder which is 0, and this implies to say our try or error method is correct, because we found that x is equal to 1. So from there we can now write it in that format, which is x minus 1, and then we write the quadratic here. So the quadratic will be 2x squared. It's going to be 2x squared, we have plus 5, and then minus 2 of this side. So we can now find the factors and the product. So we have the product, which is negative 24, and then the factor is 5. So let's try to see two numbers that we can multiply to give us negative 24, and then when we add them they'll give us 5. So I think these two numbers are these two numbers are simply negative 3 and 5. So we're going to say 2x squared minus 3x plus 8x minus 12. Then what will happen now is this, you factorize now, so you can now open curly brackets like that, then you factorize this. So we're going to have x as a factor. Let me just do this. We're going to have x as the factor, and then inside there we have 2x minus 3. Then here the factor will be 4, which will give us 2x minus 3 inside, like that. So here we now write our expression in a factorized way, which has been asked in the question. So the other factors that we have are 2x minus 3, and then we have x plus 4. So this is basically the answer which was needed of us. Okay, so this is what we are requested to do. This is how you factorize completely. So thank you very much for watching today's tutorial. See you in the next tutorial video. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, kindly do so. Shalom, shalom.